Alrighty. So, final workout session for the week. A little bit of arms and shoulders. Yeah, we're gonna get carved up. Hopefully, get a pretty good pump. Make sure we're well hydrated and all that. Hmm. I need to stock up on some rice cakes and some other carb sources that are not as badly processed as Rice Krispies. But yes, it is delicious. And I've got one of those Keurig hot chocolate for 70 calories. I think like I don't know how many grams of carbs. I think around 12, 15, somewhere like that. Um, yeah, we're just carving up, and but I mixed in some instant coffee, some sweetener, and some creatine in cold water first. Then I added a hot chocolate, and it kind of gets that lukewarm hot chocolate thing going. And yeah, so getting our creatine in, getting pretty carved up at the same time, hydrating, making sure those. I think there's a science saying something when you take creatine with carbs. I don't know. I don't know if it's specific with if it's the quicker carbs or the slower carbs, but either way, um, it it's like a super stack of what creatine is supposed to do. I don't know if that's the thing. I just did it for convenience, you know, and just to make sure I got my creatine in for the day. And it might do some placebo thing in my brain where I get a better workout and get a better pump. Who knows? But I know that carbs will give you glycogen, especially pre and post workout. So you have as optimal of a performance as you can get. And but we're sticking with our calories for at least until tomorrow. Today is Saturday, April is it 18th? I forgot. But yeah, next week, well, Sunday, meaning tomorrow, we will increase our calories by 200. So that's 2100 for the first week back. Increasing our calories, and then we're gonna add 150 and another 150 until we get to like 2600. By and the next 2 weeks, we'll see if we can get away as our metabolism ramps up. Get away with keeping our weight stable with higher calories too. You know. hmm Next week, though, in terms of the workout, it's going to be a bit of a deload. Like I can definitely feel my joints aching and clicking at times. When you're low in calories and you keep lifting intense, you do your proper warm up still and all that, stretching from time to time, but still, it accumulates how much you're putting your body through while it gets very little nutrition because if you're in a calorie deficit, um, it's hard to stay full and get what you needed. In terms of nutrition, I was in a very aggressive, around like 800 to 1,000 calories amount of deficit daily. So I was losing weight rapidly, you know. And right now, we're just gonna take a deload week, just something higher reps, lower weight, 3, 4 reps, in reserve, RIR. No supersets, no drop sets, nothing like that. But I would still like to get a pump, but we're gonna go pretty easy, especially on the compounds that we're gonna do. We're still gonna do our steps and cardio, because at this point cardio is not for burning calories, it's for optimizing your performance in terms of like not gassing out, especially on the heavy compounds, especially squats, bent over rows. Takes a lot of stamina, and I want to be able to keep up with my muscles. When my muscles are being pushed to the limit, I want the muscles to fail first rather than my cardiovascular performance. So there's that. Mm. Mm. Oh yeah, gonna have some electrolytes when I go and do my workout, and it'll be a great day for me. Mm. But yeah, I'm looking at the camera and I look a little bit younger because I shaved. You caught me one day post shave, so skin is still like a baby, not looking so much like a grown man, but you know, it's a nice kind of a nice kind of thing where I can see that I definitely lost weight because I'm not. It's not as rounder looking. It's not as rounder looking as before when I shave, and I literally look like a baby. But now I look. It has more sharp features, slightly, slightly. We're still in the realm of moon phase, but a definite improvement while looking at my face. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying the process of keeping the weight off. It's a lot less pressure because you're just aiming for less numbers in a day. So you track your protein, you track your steps, you average how many calories you're burning a day, you track calories too, and you track your weight daily, which definitely I don't do as much anymore. Ever since we've hit 200, I'm kind of like I don't really care about what's in the way, and I've been keeping it off. You know, uh, I don't worry about like the water weight anymore. I don't worry about the fluctuations. All I know is if I stick to the plan, we reverse out of this in a great way, in a way uh, that's not gonna really shock the body and get a bunch of water retention going. We should be good to go. So right now we're gonna do some arms. I think I will do one tricep movement, but it's going to be myo reps. Um, yeah, those sets are gonna get it really pumped up. I can tell already. But we're gonna do two exercises for biceps, two exercises for shoulder, and one tricep. So let's do this. See you at the gym. Okay. Uh, so first exercise, we decided to do a bit of a compound movement. Uh, Just some dumbbell, seated, shoulder press. Got the 60s on. So, yeah, we'll just wrap this out. See what happens. See what we can do. Feeling pretty good. Strength is doing all right. You know, had a pretty good sleep, so we're energized here. That actually felt pretty light, but I might go up to 65s, see if we can do 10 to 12 instead of getting to like 15. Yeah, I'll do one more of those. All right. Second exercise, some dumbbell curls. We're gonna go alternate with it. I grabbed the 40s, and we're just gonna do some nasty heavy sets. So form, not that top notch, but we're gonna get pretty pumped either way. So let's get it going. Whoa, that's a nice set. That was a pretty good set. All right. Oh, that's a good enough angle. So, I think fourth exercise, some dumbbell lateral raises. Got the 30s and the 15s. Then we're just gonna drop set per set. So, oh, where's um, not trying to go too intense, but let's see if we get how many reps till failure. I feel like this is gonna be a high rep exercise. All right, we'll see. All right, pretty intense, man. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good shoulder pump right there. One more set. Okay. So tricep pushdowns. This is my second working set. So this is would be the myo rep set. Then we're gonna do three. Let's do three myo reps. So we're getting some awesome stimulation going. Up to it by one. Yeah, we're just gonna go ham at this tricep push now. All right, let's do this. Okay. We're gonna rest for 20 seconds on the last one. Just gonna wrap this up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. That's it. It was worth it. Yeah. Okay. Last exercise for the day. I finally found out what this is called. It's like a Bayesian curl. Watch a Jeff Nippard video about it, but he does it with both cables. I'm only able to do it alternating, but nevertheless, let's just get a good, leave with a good arm pump. Still have a little bit of tricep pump, so just gonna keep the biceps pumped up, and then that should be for the day. one more of those, but that's it. All right, post workout. Ugh. Did not ending up doing the cardio. It's even though it's just the elliptical. There's just too much clicking on my knees, so I just we're still at a deficit without the cardio. But tomorrow is my cardio anyway, so I feel like I can spend an extra 5-10 minutes on the treadmill. I mean the elliptical instead. Uh, like we got a pretty good arm pump, man. Right now, just heading to the store to get some carb sources. Planning on some bananas and some rice cakes, just the cheaper ones. Potatoes were good so far. Rice cakes, not enough rice cakes. Yeah, we got rice, we got both potatoes, sweet potatoes, and regular potatoes. I don't buy too much. I don't buy too much in bulk in terms of potatoes because man, they get that little weird growth going. It's like that's probably why they're so cheap because they'll grow without dirt. They'll just grow, you know, roots and seedlings, whatever they're called. But they've got that level of growth, and it's just, you know, I read somewhere that it comes to a point that it becomes inedible, or it's just going to be a lot of work to kind of get rid of those little growth spots. hmm Um, they just get gross looking, and so I try. If I'm gonna get a carb source, I would make it my carb source until it runs out. Except rice, if it was not for the macros and how calorie dense white rice, jasmine rice is, that would have been my main carb source. As a Filipino, no brainer, right? But uh, we're still on the deficit, although we are getting out of it. So, you know, I can have more meals with rice and be able to enjoy it, not add a bunch of fillers. Rice overall, man, it's a quicker carb source and it just tastes way better than regular good old potatoes. But potatoes, they're easy to cook, man. You don't even have to peel them sometimes. I peel them sometimes if it's like I'm measuring my potatoes, right? I'm weighing them out. Let's just say I needed 400 grams for the meal. We're trying to eat, good amount of volume. That's around 317 calories worth of carb sources. Um, but then you weigh out like three potatoes, and they come out to like 446. When you peel them, they get close, so you get about around 406 grams. I don't think there's like even 5 calories in extra 6 grams of raw russet potatoes. Mm. But potatoes, rice, though rice could be a good pre-workout, carb source. But for me, I, it would have been way better if I had more so like uh, like a banana or something snacky, something sweet. Because to me, savory pre-workout snack. I don't have meals. I have bigger meals and smaller like snacks, pre-workout snack, post-workout, whatever it is, to get me like through the day. You know, I'd rather have some type of snack like a like a rice cake. Rice Krispies, did a pretty good job, but it's more so like I don't want to put ingredients that I don't know the immediate meaning into, right? So I know rice cakes is puffed up brown rice. Banana is banana. We can get into the GMO, genetically modified. It's You can genetically modify things, but at least it's grown from dirt. It's getting nutrients from dirt, although one could argue glyphosate and pesticides. Although, you know, most of the pesticides are on the outside of the fruit. So if you just give it a quick rinse and some uh, baking soda, and you go on ahead and dry them, pat them, you pretty much got rid of 99% of the pesticides outside of the fruit itself, and you may get some amount still, but carcinogens, poisonous things are everywhere. We're breathing in smog, we're breathing in air. I don't know what's in the air, but we're breathing it. We literally use our phones all day. So I don't know what type of carcinogen it is, but I've read somewhere it's a carcinogen, and it's like if we got to worry about all the little things, you're gonna live in fear. And to me, as a believer, as a Christian anyway, this is temporary. This is temporary. This is something that's although we steward it as best as we could and glorify the name of Jesus as much as we could, in our daily life, it's still it's not a permanent thing. It's We are here to be salt and light. Do you know uh, whatever purpose He has for us? You know, best do it uh, in the best way we can. But after that, all these working out, all this going to a job and all that, uh, it won't even matter in a way. But we got to do what we got to do, you know. So right now, I'm getting an education, going to school, hopefully get a job, uh, have some sort of financial income, financial resource, raise a family, hopefully find a wife, have children, Lord willing, and teach him the same thing, that we have responsibilities here, but this is not our permanent home. Somewhere down the line, you know, we have an eternity to go to, and we live the way we do because we want to spend the better part of eternity. So yeah, getting a carb source, banana, rice cake. I think that's about it. Um, for post workout, I'm gonna have some sweet potatoes and some pork tenderloin. Man, don't sleep on it. Although, actually, sleep on it. Whatever controversy you hear about pork and whatever conspiracy about it, keep believing it. It keeps my prices low. So yeah, keep believing it. Keep my protein source, especially now. Like I would have I get down to some ground beef and some steak, but they can get pretty high up there in terms of price. But pork, close second, man. Close second. Chicken. Everybody eats chicken. So for what it is, for what it gives you protein. It's pretty lean. Tastes pretty good, man. But to me, uh, because it's such a mainstream food, and more so in the Western, people are like, I don't eat pork, and they do more so chicken. Um, it gets more expensive, way cheaper than beef, but still way more expensive than pork. Uh, you know, per kilogram. If we're talking per kilogram, they can be like $8 in difference. Pork is $8 cheaper per weight. So there you go. Um, but don't believe me, it's not. It's not worth it. It's pork bad. Let me handle the pork. let me. I'm not eating like pork belly and all that all the time. Or I can get into some pork belly because the fattier the thing, the fattier the meat, the better it tastes. Same thing with steak, anyways. But you get the lean cuts, you get a good amount of protein. Uh, Micronutrients are okay too. Man. Porks are omnivorous. If you get pork from a source that is trustable, that's even way better. But you know, you get the lean cuts. You're not gonna get any of the fat soluble things that they acquire, like the tenderloin or the center cut loins. Cut out all the fat as much as you can. You'll be fine. Uh, but to be honest, people worry about that and then drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes. Yeah, it's like if if you're gonna do one thing, all perfect and in good health, and you have one that you tolerate, it's just hypocritical. So I say, everything in moderation, but I am. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any substances. I don't do no marijuana. Uh, but yeah, to me, it's like I'm gonna keep it like 80%, 90% of my diet whole foods, and if I get some treats in the end, I use sweeteners and sugar-free stuff because I'm come on, I'm trying to save some calories here. So I can't be hypocritical about that, but at least do what you can, and but don't kind of like uh, uh, put down others because people eat pork or do this, do that. Um, Come on, man. People, everything in excess. For example, people say all healthy foods. Your healthy food could be a cheat day if you're excessive enough. Is what I'm saying. So I think that's it. I'm not gonna rant any further. I will get my carb sources, go home, get some rest, drink my protein bottle, hold me down for a while, and then have some late dinner. Yeah, we're gonna try to keep our weight at 200. Hopefully, recomp. You know, have more muscle, continue to lose fat. We're gonna keep active. Our activities, man, I'm able to handle, especially with more calories. I bet it'll be it'll gotta take some effort and some uh, initial decision to initiate the actual activity. But walking, simple. 20-minute elliptical, simple. And um, you know, uh, do what you can most days, man. It's yeah. Still, um, yeah. When you will reap the reward, and I certainly do. I'm I've been taking some pictures, and there have been a big difference from 30 days ago, and especially 3 months ago. So you know what? We are great over here. So yeah, we'll do that. Get my carb sources, and I'll see you next workout.